So another lecture on numbers. This one's on the rule of 9 in connection with weeks, months, and years. So first of all, we have the sign for week, which is just week. If you want to do 2 weeks, you just do it 2 weeks, and you can do it all the way up to 9 weeks. 9 weeks. You cannot do 10 weeks or 16 weeks, but you can do 5 weeks. You need to be very clear with your hands when you do these so that you have 4 weeks, that it looks like 4 weeks. Some people ask, well, why would you do anything above 4 weeks? Because then you're into a month. But there are sometimes. You may need to go to the doctor and you need to see the doctor in 6 weeks. They'll say, come back in 6 weeks. Or you are taking a 9-week class. So this class is 9 weeks. So there are a lot of reasons that you will use numbers that's more than a month. If we're going to talk about doing something last week, if we think about our timeline, in ASL we show timelines in 2 ways. We have right now in front of us, and we have what was before, and then we have what's after. So the other way that we do it is we have what's before, and then we have what's after. So if we want to do last week, we have our week here, then we're going to have our week and it's going to drop down. Oh, this is next week. We're going to come down and move forward. So because we're going down our calendar to the next week and we move forward next week. If we do last week, we just come across our calendar and go back 1 week. So last week, next week. You can go forward 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You're not going to go forward 9 weeks. That's getting pretty awkward. Same thing, you can go like 2 weeks ago. We did something 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But you're not going to get really complicated with higher numbers. You have to think about how easy it is for somebody else to read what you're saying. Months. So if we have our calendar and you think about your calendar going up and then coming down, you have your calendar. So you have your month, and this is showing the side of your calendar. So this is week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have your month. So you can do 2 months, 3 months. You could do 8 months. You can do 9 months. That's your limit. We're not going to do 10 months. It's just 9 months, or you could do 10 months. Years. The sign for year is you have the sun and the earth is going around your sun. That forms your year. So the sign for year. Okay, we get lazy. So pretty soon we just have the sun rotate above the earth. Year. Year. So you could say next year, then you next year, next year. If you do it every year, then you bounce that a couple times every year. Sideways so you can see a little bit every year. If you do it just one time, then it's next year. You can do this every 2 years. If you do it, sometimes you'll see, like, I'm going to do that in 3 years. You're planning on doing something, but not for 3 years. You can do last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Really more than that, it's not going to be happening because it's too hard to read. There is one other that's connected with time, and this is yesterday. You can do 2 days ago, and sometimes you'll see 3 days ago. So you've done days, weeks, months, and years, how they relate to the rule of 9.